Okay, today I'm going to show you how to trace an image in Onshape. So first of all, I need to get to Onshape, and we're going to go and create a new document. And I am going to be cutting out a metal sign using this image, so I'm just going to type in metal sign for the document name for now. Okay, and that gets us into our document page, and we have our three planes here. I'm just going to go ahead and use the top plane to start my sketch for my sign. So go ahead and click on that, click sketch, and then orient yourself to that top plane. And now what I need to do is go and find an image that I want to trace. Okay, this could be something that you have drawn yourself and you want to bring it in, or it could be something that you found online. So I went ahead and just found a free black and white image of a jet silhouette and downloaded that, and I'm going to use that image. I could also take a screenshot of it. There's a fire truck, there's a flying saucer, there's all these different ones you can choose from. Of course, you can go online, you can find all kinds of different free clip art available and other images as well. Okay, and you can use, an actual image of, like, say, a dog, of your dog or something like that, if you want to try to trace out the outline, depending on what you're doing, if it's going to be used for, 3D printer or the laser or the plasma cutter, it's going to be a little bit different based on the machine you're going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead now back to the metal sign or the document, and go ahead and bring in my image. So to do that, I need to click on this tab right here, and we have to make sure sketch 1 is open. Okay, and we're going to click on this little tab here where it says insert DXF. We're going to insert an image instead. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and then click on import. If this doesn't show up, this little tab right here on the bottom that says import, you might need to change your screen resolution so that you can see that. And if you click on import, then you can find your image. It's got to be a JPEG image, I believe, or a PNG might work as well. I'm not sure, but typically I use JPEGs when I do this. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to open up my folder that has the image in it. And I'm going to go ahead and pick the JPEG file. Hit open. That's going to give me now the little crosshairs symbol to draw with. And if I click on my image over here, oops, I got to click on that box again. Click on the image. Okay, and now I have the crosshair, so I can go ahead and just click and drag, and that will draw my image out for me on this plane. Now, on this plane, I don't like to do my actual tracing, but I do like to center it and also size it to what I am going to want it to be, or at least close. So let's say I want to make this 12 inches wide. So I would click on that measurement tool or dimension tool, and then click once on one of my lines, depending on which side I want to be 12 inches, and then I would type in 12 inches and hit enter. Okay, now that sizes it up for me, and I would like to center this on my origin, which is that center dot right here. Right now, I can click on this and I can move it around, and I don't want to be able to move that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a line tool and also click on the construction line here so that this doesn't actually create a cut line. We just want to create a dotted line. Go diagonally, and then I can hit midpoint constraint. This might be in a drop-down menu for you if your screen's not big enough. But this constraint right here where it says midpoint, that's the one I'm going to click on. And then I click on this line here and the dot here to center that. Okay, so now it's centered and it's dimensioned. And I'm going to label this, instead of sketch 1, I'm going to label it my image sketch. Okay. And then check mark that one. And now over the top is where I can do my tracing. So I can click on sketch again, and then also click on the top plane. And this is going to create a second layer. And I'm going to label this one tracing. And this is where I can actually start doing my tracing using my tools up here. So I'm normally going to be using either line or the spline tool, most likely. But you have circles and you have polygons and other tools that you can work with up here for sketching. But we're going to go ahead and just use actually either the line or the spline tool here. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and hit escape and use the spline tool on this one. I'm going to start from this point here in the edge and just start clicking where I need to in order to make the right curves. So the spline tool will be straight until you click and give it a point to curve at. I have to zoom out just a little bit, and the only thing I need to do here is actually do half of this. I don't need to do the whole thing because it is symmetrical. If your design is not symmetrical, you will need to trace out the whole thing. I might need to go back and fix some of these spots here, but you can do that later. What I'm doing is zooming out so I can get a better view of this thing as I'm tracing it. Oops. And you'll notice sometimes it wants to click in spots you don't want it to, and then it locks in areas you don't want it to. So you can hit the escape button to get out of the tool, and then you can go up here to the trim tool. Oops, and that's going to want to trim the whole thing. So okay, I'm just going to go and show constraints. Click show constraints, and then where it has the coincident constraint here, you can take that and click on it, hit delete, get rid of that so that you can move this point back down again, and so it won't be locked in that spot. This is most likely going to happen to some of you, so it's a good thing it happened to me, so I can show you what needs to happen if that does happen to you. All right, so now I can click on my spline tool and keep going. I do need to make sure that I click on this actual end dot here before I start the spline. And now I'm just going to keep working my way down. Like I said, I can just do half of this, and then I can just mirror the other half over. So right there is going to be my endpoint. So I'm going to hit escape now. And if I need to modify this spline to make it fit better, you can come back and you can drag these dots around to kind of make things fit better. And you can actually add dots. There's a point tool up here that you can click and you can add points so that you can move things around a little bit better. And in this case, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be close. So I'm going to call that good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a center line right down the middle from end point to end point. And that's going to be my mirror line. So what now I need to do is actually just mirror. So using this mirror tool, click on the center line in the part that I want to mirror. And then it mirrors it over. Now, for some reason, it didn't mirror that last section. Oh, I think I need to click on that last section because I started a new one. That's right. So here's the last section I need to mirror, this one here. And now if I hit check mark, and if I go over here to image sketch and use a little eyeball to hide it, you can see I've got a gray shaded image of the jet. And the image sketch is hidden, so that means that I did this correctly, because the gray means now that I can extrude it and it's all connected. If it doesn't turn gray, it's not connected somewhere and you need to go back and fix that. If it is gray, you can click on the extrude tool and you can extrude that, and I would just do a depth of something like 0.125 or 0.25, which is typically the size of sheet metal we're going to be working with. So 0.125 there, and then check mark. And there's my end result. So that can be cut out on a plasma cutter, 3D printer, laser. You can use that file for all sorts of different things. So, and you can also go back and modify it pretty easily. If you just want to click on the tracing part, you can go back and change things, add things to it. There's a lot you can do here, but that is the basic idea of how you would go about tracing an image that you brought in from either online or something of your own.